Hi everyone, thanks for joining us to the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center. Local printer and artist Gaia Cornwall wrote and illustrated a picture book called Jabari Jumps. She's joining me in studio. Gaia,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you for joining us. We were kind of gathering everything and gathering the book. This is Jabari Jumps. It's absolutely beautiful. The message is so inspiring.
Okay.
So I found you online and I wanted to get you in studio because you're local.
Yes.
You're in Providence, right?
Yep.
Perfect. So I wanted to get you in and just go through the book with you and talk to you a little bit about just inspiration and take a look at all the pages and the beautiful artwork in here as well.
Great.
And talk to you about this. And you have to love that new book smell too, right?
Yeah, they all smell good. Yep.
And you brought some of the prints with you as well,
I did,
right?
yeah.
So
I brought sketches and I brought F&Gs, like all the different stages of the book, so we can check it out.
Oh my gosh,
Behind
how
the
cool is
scenes.
that? How cool is that? So
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about Jabari Jumps and just a little bit about the message behind it because it's a really cool story. Talk to me just about what it was like just creating a book because you brought start to finish. What went into this?
So I actually checked recently, and I have sketches from 2010.
Wow.
Yeah, which is crazy. And yeah, I've been wanting to be an illustrator to create books for kids for so long. And so let's see, I started with the sketches and the idea and drawing little characters. That's usually how most of my books start. And then when you're an illustrator author, you make a dummy, which is just like a book of sketches, and then that's what you submit to the publisher. So I submitted that to Candlewick. They're in Boston. They're right in Somerville. And yeah, after that, I got an editor and an art director that I was paired with, and they've been really amazing to work with. So we went back and forth. I think I signed a contract in 2014. And it was originally slated to come out in 2016, but then they pushed it because of their schedule to this summer. And that worked out for me because I ended up having a baby.
Oh, congratulations!
Thanks.
You had a book and a baby.
Yes. It was like giving birth to two. Yeah, so this year I get to give birth to a book, and last year it was a baby. Yeah, so we worked on it for almost 2 years altogether, and now it's here.
And now it's here.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about Jabari and about the story behind it, because it's a really inspiring story.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. So Jabari Jumps is about a little kid who's super excited to jump off the diving board.
Because who isn't, right?
Yes. He's a really good jumper, and he's all ready, he's all prepared. And
I mean,
he's
look at
super
that face,
excited.
right?
Yeah. And then, so he and his dad and his little sister, they go to the pool, and he's all ready. And then he gets there, and the diving board is a little tall. It's a little scary, maybe. He's not really scared, but maybe it's a little scary. So the book is about, courage and bravery and figuring out how to deal with fear and doing something new and how you kind of work up to that. And yeah, it'd be a fun book for Father's Day, and it's a fun summer read too. Yeah.
Oh, especially with the swimming aspect in it. I love the character. I think he's adorable looking. Dad gets in there too. We will try not to give everything away in the book.
Spoiler.
Sorry, try not to flip all the way through it. But a great family story as well. Tell me just a little bit about your inspiration behind the story.
Yeah. So, well, personally, I love swimming, and I've loved just the water in general ever since I was a little kid. Like, you could not get me out. Like probably a lot of little kids, I really wanted to be a mermaid. I was really interested on how to breathe underwater. That was really fascinating to me. I think that lasted years and years. So that was definitely part of it. But then, growing up and being a writer and creating stuff for kids, I really want to write stories that kids relate to. And I think everybody remembers that feeling of being up on the diving board, and it's so scary for the first time, and you have to jump off, get yourself to jump off. And so I wanted to explore that. And then I mentioned before that I started in 2010 kicking around ideas for it, and around then there was this Olympic swimmer named Cullen Jones. and who's this amazing athlete. He was the first African American to hold a world record in swimming. He's been to the Olympics like twice, I think, three times. He was on the relay team with Michael Phelps, which is so crazy. Yeah, so he's just really inspiring, this incredible actor, and now he works with Make a Splash Foundation, which is this really cool group that teaches kids how to swim. And so I just found him really inspiring.
And so he was kind of an inspiration to you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you scoot over just a little bit.
Sure.
So I want to talk to you a little bit about what the children's book review they had, because I was reading all about this book and I thought it was so great that you were local. The children's book review had an article that said, every once in a while a story comes along and fills a hole in the picture book universe. Maybe we knew about the void, like how few children's books feature main characters of color, or perhaps we only realized what we've been missing in retrospect. And Jabari is a little boy of color. Did you actively think about that when you were creating the character, that there really aren't a lot of main characters of color in children's books, and think, oh, I want to do something about this?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I've been wanting to illustrate books for kids for a long time, and I've definitely been aware that children's publishing, there's a lack of diversity, there's a problem with representation of people of color, and so yeah, I was excited to tackle that, or not really tackle it, but have that represented in my book.
And give a strong character with a strong family as well. The dad, the dad does a great job in this book.
Yeah, and I hope that all parents can really relate to him. Like, I felt like I was writing about myself a lot. It's so tricky to be a parent when, you know, you want to be encouraging of your kid when they're scared of something. You want to be like, no, you can do it. But you also want to encourage them to just figure out what their boundaries are and to support them. And I feel like that push-pull is tricky, and I tried to show that with the dad.
I like that, and it's kind of a story that all people can get behind. And then I was curious too, because I thought there really isn't a lot of diversity in a lot of different books, and there has been a push out here. I've been doing a lot of reading on main characters, not only in children's books, but in young adult books as well.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. And I don't remember the numbers for young adult books, but I know for picture books a couple of years ago, it was like half the picture books were non-human characters, like,
zebras and tigers.
Animals and trucks and dinosaurs, stuff like that. And then the other almost half were white characters, and then the leftover tiny percentage were all the people of color. And I know that was a couple years, that was in 2015. And so I know that this year.
That's pretty recent.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2 years ago. Yeah. It's slowly getting better. Like, I think we're moving in a good direction. But I feel grateful to get to write this book and share the story.
That's great. Yeah. And do you think more people can actively pursue characters along those lines? I mean, do you think it takes people doing that and searching for stories with good missions to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think...
To promote diversity?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that is something that we all should be supporting and working towards. As readers, as book buyers, as publishers, as creators. Yeah, I think it's something we should all be aware of.
That's great. Yeah. Why don't we take a look at some of your sketches? Because I'm interested to see how the story kind of evolved from start to finish.
Yeah. So
and then we'll talk a little bit about what you've done in your past, because you don't just do children's books.
Yeah.
She sent me a little bit about what you've done before, and I was like, oh my gosh,
this
is great.
So here are some...
Yeah, if you need help holding this at all.
So here are some early sketches.
Oh, this is so cool.
Like a long time ago, and he's kind of more cartoony here, he's more realistic here, and let's see, which way does this go? And so then these are the sketches that some of them made it into the book and some of them didn't. Like, these are kind of in the book.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah. And
you can kind of see
swimming.
this at all. Oh, that looks so great.
Yeah, let's see. And so, like, this one isn't in the book. He's going to be in pajamas originally.
And there he is, kind of making a fist and hold with his flippers,
and
holding his breath.
Yeah, originally he had flippers, and then we had to cut the flippers. Flippers aren't allowed at pools.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I fought for the goggles.
Yeah, you need goggles to go underwater.
Right, yeah. So here he is climbing up the ladder. And so a lot of this changed. I don't think people know, but years sometimes you work on books for years.
Wow.
And you do lots of different versions, and then you submit it, and then you do more versions.
No, I would have no clue how it works.
Yeah. So there's an early picture of him and the dad.
Oh, this is all absolutely wonderful. So, and it's neat to be able to have this and showcase this. Here, we'll set this down and have you kind of scoot back over. Be able to showcase that and be able to hang on to that and then have the finished product as you go through things. Let's talk a little bit about some of the other things that you've done in your past. You told me that you like to say you've technically won an Oscar. Tell me a little bit about this story.
A little bit of a stretch.
But I like it. I like it. Technically won an Oscar. Won an Oscar.
Yeah, lots of quotes. All the quotes.
Okay, like big and little quotes. But I like it.
Yeah. So right out of school, I got a job as an animator. And one of the first big jobs that I worked on was there's an animated short in Michael Moore's Bowling for Columbine documentary.
Which was huge.
Yeah, which was a really big deal. So the documentary won an Oscar.
and your work was in it.
Yeah, and my work was in it. And yeah, the joke in the office was that we all had Oscars now. Yeah. Yeah, it was really fun to work on. We actually worked really hard on it. Yeah.
Well, and if you think about it, if you were with an organization that won the World Series, you would get a World Series ring because you were part of that.
I know, I should have an Oscar.
Right? So you should technically a piece of that Oscar is yours.
Yeah, I don't even have a little one. They should have made them.
They should have made little baby Oscars.
Pass them all out to us.
I think.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about, because so you worked on that set of the documentary. You have this children's book under your wing now. Talk to me just about some of the other work that you do.
So I also do illustrations for surface design, which is, images for bedding or paper goods or cards. So that's been really fun to explore. And I'm a designer, and I've done a lot of websites and branding for local businesses, actually. I did Salted Slate in Welland Square, and Carol Richardson, she's a clothing designer out of Newport. And so recently I decided to focus on making websites just for writers, which has been really exciting to just to get to, selfishly, to get to meet more writers. Had ulterior motives. But yeah, so that's been really fun. But I'm also excited, my real love is doing these books, so I'm excited and hopeful that I get to do more.
So what's kind of in the pipeline for you? Are you working on anything else right now, or do you have visions of what you would like to do next with children's books?
Yeah, sure. I think, like everybody who's working on creating children's books, you always have like a million ideas. And so I do too. And I pitched some of them, and so like we're kind of in talks, and I'm really excited about this character, and I'm hoping that maybe I'll get to stay with him and do some more with him and his dad and his sister and maybe his mom. But yeah, right now we're just in talks and kind of feeling everything out.
And do you think that now that you have him established and you have kind of past sketches of him doing some other things, you can kind of go back to those and then kind of evolve from there? Does that kind of help to have a working library?
Oh my gosh, totally. No, it so helps. It helps to have like the color palette and the style set, and yeah, it won't take me like 7 years this time. Don't worry. Yeah, it'll be a lot faster.
And you know what? I don't know if this is true or not, but I have a friend who's an illustrator, and I had always kind of one of my dreams was creating a children's book. I always thought it would be really fun. Of course, I felt like everyone wanting to do it around pets. Apparently that's the thing. But he said that it works better if it's in a series. And I don't know if that's true or not. Have you found that?
I don't know either. I mean, I know with YA especially, it seems like every other YA book is like 3. Yeah. But, there are some that I can think of for picture books, but not, I don't know. They didn't mention that, so. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe that can find out. Maybe that can be your plug. Like I've heard that it works better in series.
Don't you think this would be a series?
Jabari goes to the water park. Yeah, right. You just keep him in his swim shorts.
Yeah. We won't even have to create a new costume.
No, you just keep him in his shorts. Moving right along with that. What's the feedback been for you?
So far, it's been really great. Like, I feel so lucky as a debut author, illustrator. You know, this is my first book, and you aren't even sure. Like, it's so surreal that people are reading it, let alone like it. And yeah, I remember the first time it kind of sunk in, like, oh, strangers are gonna read this. Like, it's not just my friends.
I'm not just reading it to my child.
Who are just like so sick of this, you know, because I've been working on it for so long. So that's been really great, and yeah, the literary community has been really positive feedback from, and yeah, I got a mention in People, which is exciting.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm really excited about it.
And will you be out to have any plans on going to do like library reads and all that kind of stuff?
Yes. I'll definitely be doing Smith Hill and Mount Pleasant, and I know Rochambeau, those locally. And I've already done a few of those, and I'm really excited to start doing school visits. Obviously, like, school is winding down.
Yeah. You're like, I'll do school visits.
Yeah, crickets. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that in the fall. And maybe also partnering with some summer programs. There were some in Brooklyn that we're kind of still in talks figuring out, summer literacy programs. So yeah, I'm excited to get to go read to kids. It's been really fun so far.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And just being able to have that connection with children and getting to read and then tying in the swimming aspect too, I think that makes a big difference because kids are excited about the like reading programs and about swimming programs in general. I think tying the two together makes things really fun.
And actually, even just the jumping, kids have been really excited about, which is funny. Yeah, like, that's been a big draw.
They get excited. That's so fun.
Yeah. Parents have told me that, like, their kids were playing Jabari jumps on the couch and stuff like that, which is so cute and so awesome and like, it makes me tear up thinking of. But
did you ever think, because your background is in illustrating, right? Did you ever find any challenges when you were writing the story?
Yeah, for sure. I was kind of intimidated, and but I had an amazing editor. Her name is Katie Cunningham, and she, you know, was so patient, and she's brilliant, and she just, like, held my hand and really helped me out and polished it. And yeah, Candlewick was incredible to work with, and I feel like now I definitely feel more confident. Like, before, I wouldn't even say that I was a writer. I really downplayed that part, and now I'm like, no, I'm a writer. Like,
I'm a writer now.
Yeah. And I'm working on some longer ones, like a middle grade and a YA, and so.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens, but yeah.
Well, you'll have to let us know
I definitely
what comes
will,
next because we love hearing about that. We love knowing what's happening in the community, and we love featuring local talent here, and what an amazing story it is. Where can people find you, and where can people find Jabari?
Yeah, you can get it anywhere books are sold right now. Like, the best place to get it is your favorite local bookstore. If they don't have it in the store, they can definitely order it for you, and yeah.
And you said one of these is the English version. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's so funny. I know. So Candlewick has a British parent company called Walker Books, and they're in Britain.
Okay.
I believe they're in London. And so, yeah, it's funny. They were like, oh, here are the books. And so the main difference is this one doesn't have a dust cover, which is this part.
Oh.
So all American, and I'm not sure why, I should have looked that up, but British versions don't have that. And so the secret in the American one is that the cover is different. The real cover.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why?
So, I know. I don't know why they don't have dust covers, but we decided it would be fun, like, little surprise to have the cover be different from the dust cover. Yeah, but that's the main difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now we know.
Yeah.
And I love the detail that you've put into it.
Thanks.
I love the detail. It's absolutely beautiful. So, Gaia, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. If you're interested in the story or into the book, you can check her out, and you can find the books at your nearest local bookstore or anywhere else. So thank you so much for coming in.
Great. Thanks so much for having me.
All right, and before we go, let's snag a picture, and then we'll get this cleaned up and get ready for our next guest.
Okay. That's good.